Good evening, everyone. I'm Barry Rogers. My day job is a head teacher at East Claydon School, which is just the other side of Winslow. We're a very small little school, little village school. And this is Willow. Willow's a black curly coat retriever Labrador, and she does fantastic things. Willow's actually our school ambassador dog, and she goes out to schools to meet children and goes off to demonstrations and comes out to events like this to meet people, to try and share the work of the charity that she works for. And she's very, very good, particularly some food. But she's fantastic. So I'm thrilled that we've been able to come along and share the work with you, but also thrilled that the events wanted to sponsor the charity. So thank you very much, everyone. The charity that we're representing is the Medical Detection Dogs, and they're based in Great Horwood. They gained charity status in 2008, so they're a fairly new charity, and a lot of their work is fairly new to people as well. The dogs are trained to use their sense of smell to detect different illnesses and conditions. Cancer is one stream of their work. They are trained to actually detect cancers in people prior to the medics finding it. We have a dog called Daisy, who actually belongs to the CEO of the charity, and Claire Guest, Dr. Claire Guest, the CEO, actually had a cancer scare, and this dog had been pawing away at her and recognising something in her, and she'd previously gone to the doctor, and when she went back, they did manage to find something. Their work is awe-inspiring. As far as I'm concerned, it's an amazing charity and amazing work that they do. So that's one stream, the cancer detection, but the other stream are called the medical assistants, medical alert dogs. These dogs have exactly the same rights as guide dogs, so they're allowed into restaurants, into shops, into schools, on trains, on planes, on buses, and a lot. These dogs are becoming more and more familiar around this local area because of where the charity is based. The medical alert dogs will actually alert when somebody is having an episode, if you like. So if we talk about diabetics, the diabetic alert dogs pick up a sense of smell when the owner or partner, the human partner, is actually having a hypo. So that's when their blood sugars are dropping low. They'll pick that up before the person can actually pick it up themselves. And they will then alert by licking the person's hand 3 times and then pouring. And these dogs are trained to persist, because a lot of diabetics, when they drop low, will ignore. And you know, I don't want to have anything to do with it. So
how long is the training?
Sorry?
How long is the training? The
training starts, they start for about between 9 and 12 months, working literally with a puppy socialiser, just experiencing things, and places and situations. And then it goes on for about 18 months. But what I would say is that these dogs are not trained and then sold off the shelf. You know, when they leave the centre, they're not fully completed, because they actually have to train themselves alongside their human partner, and it's quite an individual and unique thing. So they'll be learning about the smell of that person, and they'll be using that sense. It costs up to £10,000 to train one dog, and there is between 3 and a 4 year wait for these dogs at the moment. The work is being recognised more around the local area, and to the point where last 2 Wednesdays ago, the Duchess of Cornwall come and make a visit to the centre, and she was completely taken by a little puppy called Charlie. You may have seen them on the local news. But it's great that we're having lots of interest in the charity. Okay, so our journey as head teacher of East Claydon School began when Willow and her siblings, there were 8 of them, all came to my school as 10-week-old puppies. And the children who are between 2 and 7-year-olds were just in awe of them, as was I and the rest of the staff. They caused chaos, but it was great chaos, and we love chaos. What we realised is, linking with the charity and with these dogs, is learning to become fun, memorable, real and purposeful. And those 4 things, as head teacher of the school, are the 4 things that I think are most important, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with that. So, we actually adopted Willow's sister. She's called Holly, and the children at my school named her Holly Claydon. and we tracked her for a whole year in her training. So she visited school, she saw, the children saw how her training progressed and all the different things that she'd learned to do. And then it got to the end of the year and she was placed with a girl called Alice up in Yorkshire. And we actually thought that would be the end. And we started to plan to think about sponsoring a new dog, getting some new ideas, until one day when this card arrived from Alice. And you'll be seeing lots of letters and emails and cards flicking through on the screen. These are all from Alice and Holly Claydon. Holly Claydon is a really clever dog. She can write. She writes to my children. And she makes it real. She sends cards. She tells them what they've been doing. She tells them how well Alice is. Alice is somebody who can have 28 hypos in a 12-hour period. And that dog has detected every single one each time accurately. They are amazing animals and they do an amazing job. Alice calls her dog, Holly Claydon, her life-saving sniff. Because prior to having this dog, she was hospitalised for 3 years. She went into hospital when she was 15 and she was there for 3 solid years. Since having this dog, she hasn't had the paramedics out once and she's managed to stay out of hospital. She still has her hypos, she still has her hypers, but the dog is doing the job. Her condition, she has a rare condition, unique condition of type 1 diabetes, and her body has antibodies and she's unable to detect when she's actually having highs and lows. So the dog does that for her. So through this, we've developed a curriculum guide, if you like, so that we can try as a school to justify, if you like, why I as head teacher want to get dogs involved in the curriculum. How can we keep that going for longer than a year? How can we keep it going for 2 years, 3 years? This is our 3rd year now. We've used it to develop writing. Writing in schools is always that thing that you're really trying to always make progress with. And writing to Willow, or writing to Holly, or writing to any of the other dogs is one of those things that the children seem to enthuse about and get excited about. And even more so when they receive a letter back from you. So I just wanted to share a piece of writing by a 6-year-old. This child has written about Holly Claydon. Claydon is a very intelligent dog. Actually, that's why she's got 2 names, Holly Claydon, because she's very clever. She is a diabetes dog. Claydon helps someone called Alice because Alice has diabetes. But she does not have 1, but 28 hypos. Claydon is a curly coat Labrador. Claydon is as black as night. I love it when they do that. And her coat sparkles like diamonds in the sun. And it really does. Claydon has velvety black ears. I wrote super wow. Because that child has enjoyed their writing. And that child has really excelled with their writing. Okay. What I wanted you to be aware of is that by contacting the charity, we can share all of that. We can share our curriculum guide. You can log on to their website and you can look at the curriculum that's available for you. These leaflets here have been written specifically for children to share the message and explain everything. Thank you very much, and thank you for supporting the charity today. And Willow and I will be around if you want to come and meet us and talk more. Thank you.